Are we taping? Baby, are you taping? Hey, what's up, peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. And today we're going to finally do the flea market haul. So before we get into everything, let me show you some footage of the flea market when I was in there with my two boys. So I guess this is a flea market that we're about to go into. Let's get it. I'm in the flea market trying to shop with the boys, and they making it almost impossible. Look at this reprint. Pretty cool. Y'all say hi, boys. Say hi to the camera. No? Okay. But yeah. Pretty cool. So yeah, for about 3 weeks about 3 weeks, I was digging around this guy's acquired collection. What he did was he bought a storage unit full of comics, and he put it in an antique store in the flea market. And I had a coworker tell me, hey, Fred, there's some, vintage comic books in this flea market. And so I got to it, and I don't think anybody got to it before me. If they did, they didn't know what they were buying, because I end up getting some pretty cool comics out of that. Uh, so I'm going to bring you my flea market haul. But before I bring you my flea market haul, and before I bring you the sponsor, I just wanted to show you this wall art. Now, this wall art is pretty cool. This is one of the Batman covers. Excuse my finger, my sexy finger just getting in your video. But this is one of the wall arts that I've always wanted. And the difference between my wall art and a lot of other people's Batman wall art that have the same one is my Joker's hands and the Batman card actually protrudes off of the wooden poster. So that's pretty cool, man. When I saw it, I do a little time in JC Penney's, that's like my side job. And when I unboxed these at JC Penney's, I automatically put two to the side. I bought me one, and I also bought comic book window one. And I know that one day this would be worth a lot of money, because like I said, this is a different wall art. The hands and the card of Batman actually protrudes. But before we go any further, let's get our sponsor in. And this episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by my fake Darth Maul from China. All right, let's get into the haul. Okay, so if you're a fan of the channel, and if you've been watching me for a while, I've been looking for all the Marvel's 25th anniversary covers. And I happened upon this beauty through this flea market haul, and I was like, definitely have to get it. It has my favorite superhero heroine on it, which is Storm. And when I saw her in this guy's collection for $2, I actually flipped. Definitely wanted to pick her up. So not only was I blessed to get this one, but I also picked up the Web of Spider-Man one. And anytime I can get my hands on these 25th anniversary covers, I'm gonna get it. And this Web of Spider-Man is actually a newsstand. I already have this one, so the Web of Spider-Man. But hey, to have two and one be newsstand, it's all good. So let's go ahead and look at all the 25th anniversary covers that I've been able to pick up. So I got Classic X-Men, Web of Spider-Man. I got the Web of Spider-Man Direct Edition. Pun intended, Fred Hall Direct Edition. So, pretty cool. The West Coast Avengers, Hawkeye, where he's winking at you. Very cool cover. The New Mutants with the drunk magic on the front. I don't know if she's drunk, but she actually looks like she's drunk. And lastly, Cloak and Dagger, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's my 25th Marvel anniversary run. And here's a cool look at the books that I was able to pick up so far. Like I said, in that flea market, I'm slowly picking and pulling apart this guy's collection. I'm hoping nobody that's a comic hunter will end up knowing that this guy has these there, because he knows a little bit of what he has. But if you wait to the main event, you'll realize some of the books he really didn't know what he had. And I had no bones about going ahead and stealth buying. I guess that's what you guys call it. Me, I just call it hustling. I got over on the hustler. So how you like that, playa? But I'm definitely going to get some more Marvel 25th anniversary issues. So yeah, let's keep moving with our flea market haul. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm not even gonna lie to you. Basically, everything I got out of this guy's collection, or the collection that he acquired, is basically going to be a main event. So, I was very happy to pick and pull and plug in my holes and actually, go for the books that I thought that were worth some money. So, most of the books after this are going to be some books that go pretty good on eBay. But this is my girl, Darth Talon. I love Darth Talon. I have her first appearance. Um, if you don't know, she's like the female version of Darth Maul. She's with the Star Wars Legacy line, and I just can't say any more about Darth Talon. I really like her. I think they draw her very sexy, and yeah, man, I was very happy to pick this up, and I think he had it for $2, so not a bad buy for $2. So I was able to chop it up and talk to the guy about how he, got the collection, and he told me, yeah, I bought it out of a storage unit, and that's why you see these comics in an antique store. And I was like, cool, man. So by the time I end up buying all these comics, and he actually took me and the boys, my two boys, to the back, and let us look at his other collection in the back that he hasn't eBayed or ran through yet or priced out yet. And most of them were modern comics, and I like the old school, crusty dusty. So he threw in this DC special, Mr. Miracle, #1 from 1987, for free, because I had so many books, in that particular run. That was the second time that I had actually visited the flea market. And I like Mr. Miracle, man. I really do like him. I like Big Barda. I like the storyline where Superman almost made a porn tape with Big Barda. Definitely looking for that book. So yeah, and then you see Darkseid creeping from the side. So very cool, man. I couldn't thank the guy enough for throwing this in for free. I told you all of them were basically main events. This is Adventures of Superman 463 from 1990. Yeah, 1990. Anytime you see a Superman versus Flash cover where they're actually racing, you definitely need to pick it up. And we know by watching, yeah, you have Mr. Mix's Splix. If you allow my sexy hands to, or my sexy fingers to interrupt your video, there he is right there, Mr. Mixia Splick. But anyway, anytime you have Superman and Flash racing on the front cover, it's going to be a pretty good book. You can bet your money on it that hardcore Flash and Superman fans are going to seek that cover. So when I saw this for $2, I definitely had to pick it up. This is a stealth buy. I'm not sure what it goes on eBay. I really didn't price it. But in my hearts of hearts, this book is priceless. So yeah. And boom, there you have it. You know how we do on direct edition. A lot of times when I look through the dollar books or the $2 books, I always say to myself, especially when a person says, These books are, they're not really worth anything. You can find more if you're looking at the $10 and $15 books. What we always say when we look through dollar bins, we're like, hey, you say I can't find anything? Challenge accepted. And this is one of the challenge accepted. I found this Ghost Rider #1, Danny Ketch, for $2. When I tell you, I was like, yes! Like I said it so loud when I found this. I was like, oh my God. Because I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, man. And, Danny Ketch is my Ghost Rider. People that's born in like the 70s and on up, their Ghost Rider is Johnny Blaze, but my Ghost Rider is actually Danny Ketch. And I was very happy to buy this one, man. Like I said, I got it for $2 freaking. Now beat that. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a new Avengers. What was it? Hardcover. It was hardcover and single comics video. I just did a celebration video for the new Avengers, and I told you guys, new Avengers #35, the first Venomized cover, I didn't have, but when I was flipping through his new Avengers, I was like, please have it, please have it, please have it, please have it. Challenge accepted. I found New Avengers 35 Venomized Wolverine cover for what? Let's say it together. $2 freaking. Challenge accepted, buddy. So let's just look at that cover for a minute. All right, let's go to the next one. So, I watch a lot of you guys' channels, and I know you guys got a lot of independent stuff and this newer independent stuff. But she is one, and I'm saying it's called, I think it's pronounced she. But this series I've always been interested in. I think she's very sexy. She's kind of like a Lady Death as far as the way they draw her. And I said, damn, I just got to pick up more books. So when I went in this guy's, the collection that he acquired, I was like, damn, definitely it's time to go ahead and start picking her up. So these books he actually had at 50 cents. The only other person I've seen put books at 50 cents is Dave's. So I said, hey, I might as well put a little she run together. So not only did I get the premiere issue of the series, but I also was blessed to pick up the #2 in this series, which is very cool, man. And all the books that was in the video came from one storage pod. So this guy had comics on top of comics. This guy was a avid collector. He wasn't playing around. So I got she #2. #3, gorgeous, gorgeous, sexy cover, man. Just look at that. #3. Definitely had to jump on this one. This is she and Vampirella. I try not to collect too many Vampirellas because, man, the way they draw Vampirella is the way I like my women. Vampirella reminds me of Latinas. And, I just don't want to have a lot of temptation in the house because Vampirella is very voluptuous. So definitely love this. She and Vampirella #1. Definitely had to get that when I saw it. Love the anime style. She and Cyblade, drawn by my boy Mark Silvestri. Definitely love that cover. Just gorgeous, man. Gorgeous. And lastly, the book that I was shocked to see, She and Daredevil. And the cool thing about this cover is it can either go this way, because it says flip the book. So you can either do She and Daredevil this way, or you could do She and Daredevil that way. But I prefer the regular way that it was. Now, the reason why I really like the She and Daredevil is because it reminds me a lot of the Avengers versus X-Men when they had Psylocke versus Daredevil and Psylocke and Daredevil actually came to a draw because they're both ninjas. They're both trained, but they're both heavily involved with the hand because at one point Daredevil ran the hand, and Psylocke being Quanon, Quanon was actually a member of the hand. So I definitely love my martial art books. I love my superheroine books, especially women that can hold their own against men. That's why I like She. I like Vampirella. I like Lady Death. I definitely love Wonder Woman and Psylocke too. So yeah, very cool pickups, man. 50 Cent buys. All right now. So I did a video on X Force a while back, and I love my X Force books. I have their complete run in hardcovers, but man, like I said, I'm looking for the Necrosha covers. When I went to the Great Escape, my Necrosha cover that came from Interview with the Vampire was so ticked up, I couldn't get it, and they were still selling it for $10. But when I went to Flea Market and I saw this for $2, this is X Force #3 Blood variant. I was like, give me that. And I think that is Rain Sinclair. And who is that? Is that William Stryker? I think that might be Reverend William Stryker, which is pretty cool, man. So definitely love this Blood variant. Had to have it. Clayton Crane cover. Definitely. And not only did I see #3, but Sweet Baby Jesus, I found #5 with Archangel. And this is so cool because Rain Sinclair, who is, yeah, Rain, she actually attacked Angel and bit off his wings and took it back to her adopted father. Her adopted father took the feather wings and put them on some of what Reverend William Stryker's followers and created the choir, which was so freaking cool, man. So when I saw #5, I freaking flipped because in the place of his feathered wings, the apocalypse wings came out. And I have the first appearance of Archangel. I really, really dig that character. And so when I saw this blood variant, I like I I, I really did like scream a little bit. I was like, yes! And as we say, challenge accepted. So look at all this good glory that I found for only $2, man. Clayton Crane can't beat that. X Force. So yeah, man. Like I said, man, the whole time I'm like silently screaming in my head and even out loud. I ran across this Incredible Hulk 333. This is part of Todd McFarlane's run on the Incredible Hulk. I know this is one of his probably like first, introductions into the Marvel Universe. And yeah, man, you can't beat that. Definitely cool cover, man. Todd McFarlane. So definitely. So I grabbed this out of the collection too. This is Flash #1, 1987. Man, when I saw this, it automatically took me back to the old TV show. And yeah, man, I was very happy to get this. This guy who he actually required this collection from, acquired, I'm sorry, this collection from, he really took care of his comics. Besides a couple rusty staples or whatever, I think what ended up happening was because it was in storage for so long, some of the staples started rusting out. But Fred Hall Direct Edition was there to rescue these beauties. This is a part of comic book history. Look at the Flash, man. Just very happy to find this. And I think he ended up charging me about $10 for it. Went home and eBayed it. It goes for about that much. So whatever. I'm just happy to have, some comic book history. So yeah, very cool. Flash #1. What's up, my X-Men fans? I ended up finding a classic X-Men #1 for not two, not 10, $5. And this is a newsstand. So when I tell you, man, I flipped when I saw this in his collection. I was like, yes. And I saw this probably, well, this is on my first run in the flea market. So I definitely had to pick this up. I actually have this same drawing on a shirt, you know what I'm saying, that I wear. So definitely had to get this classic X-Men. Nothing wrong with it. It's still very, very clean, very white pages, very white cover. The only thing is the what do you call it? Staples are just a tad rusty. But hey, man, challenge accepted. And I was, oh my God, I was screaming when I found this one because I'm looking for keys and I'm looking for old school crusty dusties. And this is definitely one of them that I found. Excuse my finger in the corner of your video, but yeah, man, classic X-Men #1. And before we get into your main events, we're at the point in the video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? Is I'm reading this. This is an Incredible Hulk. This is actually, Mark Silvestri. Got to say that first off, because Mark Silvestri is a beast. He's been drawing the X-Men comic books, Wolverine, since we were babies. Like, he was drawing it way back in the days in the 80s. But this is the Incredible Hulk. The good thing about this book is this is when the Hulk went to Doctor Doom and actually asked Doctor Doom to separate Banner from himself. And Doctor Doom actually he did like a brain surgery on the Hulk, and he actually separated Bruce Banner from the Incredible Hulk. And you end up finding out that the Incredible Hulk is not the bad guy. Bruce Banner is the bad guy. So here's a cool look at the front of the book. And here's a cool look at the back of the book, which is very cool. Like I said, Mark Silvestri. Can't go wrong. All right, so let's get into your main events. For your first main event, we have The Web of Spider-Man #32, 1987. This is part of Kraven's Last Hunt. This is when Kraven actually buries Spider-Man alive, and he actually ended up donning the black costume and being Spider-Man himself. And I thought it was very cool. So I said a while back in my videos, way, some months ago, I said, you know what? This channel is or Fred Hall in his collection is actually going to start picking up the Kraven's Last Hunt. So I'm putting a dent in it. This is the third book I've bought, and I got 3 more to buy. And the only reason why I didn't buy the Kraven cover when I was there is because he actually eBayed that, and he had it at like $20. I'm not going to pay $20 for that Kraven cover when you can actually pay it for, if I was you, I wouldn't buy it for anything for $8 to $10, maybe 12. So yeah, Web of Spider-Man #32, 1987. That's one of your main events. Dude, Cable Deadpool, the final issue, #50. Challenge accepted. $2 for a $50 book. When I tell you, when I actually saw this book, I knew it was the final issue, but when I got home and I eBayed it, I was like, holy sweet mother of earth. Challenge definitely accepted. So I'm very happy to have this Cable and Deadpool, the final issue. Dude, Detective Comics, number 566, 1986. The reason why I bought out my wood art is because this actual book is on a wood art cover. So I definitely have to get that wooden art to hang on the wall with this comic book. This is a newsstand, and guess how much I bought it for? $2 freaking dollars. So I am so happy to have part of Batman's history. This is an iconic cover. I bought it for an iconic price, which is only $2. And yeah, so you guys keep hunting, man. You end up finding out that even though people price stuff out the butt, you can still catch them slipping. So definitely, I am happy to have this in my collection. Huge Batman fan. I don't have any like big Batman key issues because they're very pricey, but I have one now. So yeah. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. Man, you guys keep hunting, man, because we got to catch them slipping, and we definitely have to challenge ourselves to keep finding, good issues for cheap prices. So, with that being said, I pray that you guys be successful. Remember words of wisdom. Always focus on the ones that show you love, not on the ones that don't show you love. Thank you for tuning in to this video, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.